Cantina Cast Patreon content.
Hello, Patreon members. Hello, Jonesy.
Hello, everyone, and we're back. It's been a while since we did we haven't done a Tatooine trading post in a couple weeks now. But yeah,
I know.
You talk about going right into the next show, man. This is why we do it. This is fun.
It's like work. You just go from one meeting to the next, and by the time you know it, the day's over and you're 50 years old. So same kind of thing.
What's really odd, though, is I think I get more accomplished here than I do at work. So
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody, on this Tatooine trading post. And as I've mentioned, I don't even know where to begin. I'm going to have to just break this up. I was looking at it, I was like, there's no way. There's just too much stuff. So, or maybe what I'll do is kind of show you all my non-Star Wars stuff together at one time, and then come back to like all the Star Wars stuff individually. Because there's
you just want me to come. You want me to come back like in 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, if you want, right? That's fine. Go cool. take 5 or 20.
Take a break. Do a
whatever you need to do. Why don't I go first?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
All right. So if you're not, for anybody that's never joined the show or you're listening for the first time, what we do is we talk about all the stuff that we've spent stupid money on that's Star Wars related or not Star Wars related sometimes, as the case with me most of the time. But, I've had a chance to pick up a few things. I'm going to start with a really big item. And so Alex was on the Patreon shows. He was on he's with us tonight, but he's also been on the From a Certain Point of View shows when we were breaking down all the seasons of Rebels. And this was a gift from my mother, and I know he was very upset that Mom got me this and didn't buy him this thing. But sorry, Alex, you're here, and I didn't mean to do this in front of millions of people, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So
maybe you should be a real fan, Alex. Just saying.
Yeah, maybe you should be a real Star Wars fan. So look, Mom got me this thing here. So this is like the baby Yoda that comes with, and it's I've seen this other places, and I don't know where she got this one, but it's got a few items on here that are kind of specific. So you get the pendant. You get the little shifter knob as well. Then you get a frog and you get a bowl that go with this. And I actually do not have.
Is it electronic or something?
No, it's just a doll, but I think it's like life size in terms of like its height and all that.
It looks like it's screen accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a little Grogu kind of thing, but I don't have a Grogu, honestly. Like I was looking around, I was like, wow, I don't have a single Grogu in this room. Well, I do have a little Lego that's part of the Mandalorian set. But I don't know where the heck she got this from. She just handed it to me. I think she got it at a garage sale or who knows with Mom. It's always weird where she finds stuff. But I'm very grateful for this. So I've been sitting on this thing waiting to show it, and I'm going to open this up as soon as the show's over. But I'm looking forward to actually playing with it.
You should take some pictures of you enjoying it and loving it and hugging it, send it to your brother.
I'll make a video and set it to music. It'll be like a montage video, and I'll set it to music, 80s music, send it over to Alex and see what he says.
But it'd be like one of those music, like one of the videos that like it's like the love music and just like it zooms in on you hugging it and then it turns to black and white. It's really
right. Yeah, he says that's okay. She gave me the cash value. All right, that's fair. Cash works too. Hey, Sky's with us as well tonight. All right, Jonesy, you're up. I got that big item out of the way.
Oh, I thought you were doing a bunch of other ones. Okay, well, so some people like to celebrate Christmas in July, and so. Stephanie is one of those people, and so she bought me a Star Wars puzzle. Sorry for the noise here. You're going to edit it out.
Oh, that's from the comics.
Yeah. So it's awesome. It's Star Wars issue #1. It's a variant cover, I believe. Yeah, it's a variant cover, but it's got Vader. It's got some walkers in the background. It's very reminiscent of some Dave Dorman art back. If you're familiar with Dave Dorman's art, it's very similar to kind of his style, which I really enjoy. But stormtroopers, blasters deflecting everywhere, but it's just a lot of fun, 500-piece puzzle. You can find this really anywhere, but it was really sweet of her to think of me while they were celebrating July or Christmas in July and sent that down here. So I wanted to share that with y'all because I do enjoy puzzles. And I started putting together the Obi-Wan, the collector's art puzzle that I showed several weeks back.
A couple weeks back, yep.
Dude, it's so hard. It was so difficult and it was so blue. And I just wasn't in the right, sometimes you're like, I want to do this, but then you're just like, if I do this, I'm just gonna. I'm not in the right place to do this puzzle, and so
right.
And it was hard. It was like black and blues, and
oh man,
it was really difficult, and I just wasn't the place to do it. So I actually put it all back in. I didn't even have the border built. It was that bad. So I'll eventually get to it, but this one might be my next one because this one looks like a lot of fun to do. A lot of different colors and stuff like that. So it should be a lot of fun.
I think I shared that story of that. I need to bring that puzzle that I mentioned. Remember I told you I was like, oh, I'm going to do puzzles and I'm going to buy a Star Wars puzzle. And it was like 5,000 pieces. And it was like rated the hardest puzzle. It's still sitting on a bookshelf over there for the last, I don't know, 8 years. No one's touched it.
It looks fantastic in the box. Yeah.
It really does. But I need to bring that out just so I want to show you the puzzle pieces themselves at some point here.
Oh my gosh, how big are they? Like this big? Like
they're tiny. They're little teeny tiny things. Yeah.
I've done some 2,000 piece puzzles, and those are challenging. I mean, those are really tough. I can imagine doing 5. That just this makes me want to end it. Yeah.
I may be exaggerating. It's probably not 5. It felt like 10 million pieces. Honestly, I just
they get small. Yeah.
It was very difficult. Okay,
they require a lot of space too. They're big.
This guy says, I love puzzles, but I can't do it with my cats. Yeah, because you're no longer paying attention to the cats. You are touching something else, and then they jump up there and they want to bat the pieces away or lay down right in the middle of the border that you've just created. So you can't do anything with cats, but love them. That's just the way law of nature. Okay, so let me do all of the Dungeons and Dragons stuff because I have a lot of it, and I will make this quick, I promise. So I'm going to reach back here.
How many times have you actually made something quick when you said it was going to be quick?
Shh. Nobody asked you. Okay.
I mean, these people know you as well as I do at this
point.
So
here, I'll make this quick. Look, so I got more socks at a very, this is from Five Below.
I was going to say that's cool. D20. Yeah.
Out in California. So what is that? Oh, it's a Mimic. You can see it there.
Very cool.
It's got some dragons and some other stuff on there. All right. So there's my socks. Then I got this on Amazon Day, which this is how long this thing's been sitting here. So I got the Monopoly version. I have a whole stack of Monopoly games up there. Honestly, I don't collect Monopoly games, but I have about 20. This is a Dungeons and Dragons the movie Monopoly. I haven't had a chance to open this up.
I love all the stuff you don't collect. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So there's that. That's fun. I'll never play that. Then I picked up. So these were from Super 7. So, and I'm going to go really old school here. So these are these figures from the original first edition Dungeons and Dragons characters. So you got this one here. That's from the Fiend Folio guide. This is from the original Dungeon Master's guide. They made a action figure of that one. Where's Rob? He would know what these are. And then here's the one for the, I think this is the player's manual that came out, right? So these are from Super 7. No big deal, but they were a limited run, so I had to pick those up. But what I did get also, this is the last thing for D&D, was this guy here. So this was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And what they did is they actually made this guy right here on the front. This kind of cover has been immortal, right? I mean, everybody sees this everywhere for D&D. But they actually churned this character into an action figure, and it's called the Formidable Fighter. So it was a Comic-Con exclusive. And then I guess they didn't sell a lot of these, which is shocking to me, but surprising.
Wait, from Comic-Con like last year or this year?
Or this year, yeah. Just like, 2 weeks ago or whatever it was, 3 weeks ago?
Huh.
So they didn't sell all of these out. And then they put a select number of these on their online store. And I got an email saying that they were available. So I went and picked it up. I was almost going to spend, they still go for like $100 online. And I paid like $25 with shipping for it. So I didn't even realize what the price was. I was about to pay 4 times the price just so that I could have this action figure. But pretty excited about this. So, again, I'll never open these up, but they'll sit there on my shelf and be part of, some kind of trust fund that's established once I pass. All right, whatever. So that's my D&D lot. I just got it out of the way.
Your will's going to state that none of it can be sold and they all have to enjoy it, like in this you command type of thing.
Yeah. You have to leave them in the packages. You can't open them.
Okay, does this mean I'm back up?
You're up.
Okay, so I'm going to show things that you don't collect that you actually do collect. So if you remember the old Smuggler's Run boxes that came out that had Funko Pops in every one of them, I think they still do in some capacity, or maybe, I don't know. But anyway, but I was just kind of looking around in my closet and I saw this Funko Pop for Han Solo with Tauntaun.
Oh, wow.
I've still got it in the box.
I didn't realize they did that one.
Great shape. Yeah, I've got a few of these. I've got the Amazon exclusive the Millennium Falcon one. And then I've also got another exclusive of Luke and the Landspeeder, which is also a Smuggler's Run. And you can kind of see the tag there. It says,
sort of.
The camera's not going to focus that close. But anyway, it says Smuggler's Run exclusive right there.
Oh, yeah. The black sticker.
Yeah, the black sticker. But anyway, these bigger ones you don't really see At the time, you didn't see these very often. They just didn't sell a whole lot of these because they were really, limited runs and things like that. But I just thought it was fun. It's number 125 for those interested or listening to it. But yeah, so Pumpko, or it's still a bobblehead, which I'm not a fan of, but it looks great in the box, and these always present nicely, and like their overall presentation has just always been really good. So I enjoy these. I can see why, even for someone like yourself that can't stand collecting these things, but they still show up on your shelves. I've got boxes of them in the garage, and I've got boxes on the shelves. So I definitely fell victim to this for a long time.
Yeah, those are great. I don't see the large ones much around these days. Like you see the smaller one. Maybe if you go to
I've seen
at
them
least
over
in the
Target.
retail stores. Yeah,
I've seen
Target
them
will
at
have
Target
them every once
stuff.
in a while. Yeah, you're right. They've got kind of a niche section of this stuff, and then you'll see them at like EB Games or GameStop or whatever that's in your area.
Is EB Games still around?
I think they were bought out by GameStop. It's one of the same companies, so I think they've switched all the names now to GameStop.
Man, I haven't thought about Electronics Boutique in forever.
Oh,
I
got stories about that.
That was the cat's meow when we were growing up.
Oh yeah, that's where you went to buy the really expensive and great games out there.
All right, what's next for you?
Let's see. Where do I start? Do I hurt Alex more?
Yes.
Or do I? Yeah. Okay. So
Twist his arm on that one.
So I got it. He messaged me or sent a text to me and my brother, and it posted something. He was like, "Oh, I wish I could buy these," and then he gave me the reason why he couldn't. I thought, "Oh, well, if he can't buy them, then I will." And these were
typical brothers.
Yeah, I know, typical brothers. So these were the Star Wars Rebel action figure 2 sets. So this one has
nice.
Sabine and one of the stormtroopers, which is great. So this was $30. I got 6 figures for $30. So there's 3 packs, and they're all 2 packs, right? So there's that one.
Yeah, where were these at?
Really good. This was just on some. Here he goes. He says, "Oh, you jerk," is what he just said in the chat. And then here's the. This is Hera, along with the. What is he? A commander?
Yeah, I think we first were introduced them as sand troopers with the orange pauldrons. But yeah, I think
but I think now that
sergeants or something like that.
Yeah, some rank represents some kind of a rank here. But that's a Hera character, as you can see there. So that's good. But this
these are all the Rebels packaging here, yeah. So
yeah,
these are kind of Rebels there, not Ahsoka.
But this is the one that really caught my eye because one, it came with Kanan, but it's also got Ezra in his Imperial cadet uniform, and you don't see that often. Honestly, it's kind of a hard to find one. I think these are the original $12.99 stickers that came on. Yeah, it was on Macari. That's what it was. He sent me the link to it, so I just happened to have credit, so I went and picked them up. But $30, and I think shipping was included. So 6 figures for $30, and
thanks for the heads up, guys. Just saying. I mean,
well, you need to get on his text messages. He sends me all kinds of stuff that I buy.
Yeah, Alex, phone me, bro.
All right, but all right, what do you got next?
All right, well, I promised this a few weeks ago when I showed the AT-AT from Star Wars Miniatures that I had another companion to it, and here it is. So this is the AT-ST version that goes with the Star Wars Miniatures games.
Yeah.
So this is from 2006. But it's really cool. I mean, again, great detail on it. It's kind of worn, battle worn.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a black base, but you can tell it's kind of the indoor look a little bit there. But got some lasers firing out the front, some dust and cobwebs hanging from it. This protects my toaster along with my AT-AT in the kitchen. But just fantastic. These detail on these were just so great, and they were just such a great companion piece. This one was actually usable in the game. It even got some like little orange stripes type stuff going on. Again, my zoom doesn't do it so well up close, but just so much fun to be able to have these play. And these actually made a little more sense within the context of the game rather than the AT-ATs. But I teased that a couple weeks ago, so I thought I'd bring that one back in there and show that one off. It's again still kind of one of my favorites. It's a from a game, but it's actually show worthy. It's worthy of a place on your shelf and worthy of a place that people can actually go see, and really looks great.
Yeah, they did a good job again with the painting and just the weathering of that stuff for just off the shelf. Buying them as is, that's just a great deal, honestly. I really would love to buy more of those. I just don't know that I have this. Well, I can make the space, but I don't have the space right now for them.
I was about to say, has it really stopped you before?
No,
I was about to say, you have a whole pile of Dungeons and Dragons stuff, so.
It's really starting to kind of look crazy in here. Like there's just so much stuff that's just piling up,
cute.
Honestly.
That's cute. It looked crazy before. Yeah.
You can see it now. There's stuff everywhere. But people walk in here and they're just like marveling at, every space that's available on these shelves is like got something in it of some sort, and most of it's Star Wars.
Because you added more shelves right to your right.
Yeah, I added a whole nother shelving system over here, and I've got room for 2 more, so it's not going to end. Like I said, I can add more space, but we'll get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So maybe someday I'll take a video and kind of show that.
All right,
okay, so I picked these up in California, of all places. I hadn't seen these anywhere else, honestly. I knew they were out there, and I've seen them in the wild, but Target had an entire section of the Young Jedi stuff, right? So the Young Jedi Adventure stuff. And this is Kai Brightstar. Have you watched this series?
No, just the little teasers they did when they first did it. We announced that they just did the new 7 episodes, though. It just came out this past week.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a really good series. I'm not kidding you. And again, expectations, right? So for Disney the target Junior, audience, for target Junior, Disney Junior, it's in line with like all of the other stuff that they do, but the storytelling is so rapid paced. It doesn't ever stop moving. The character acting is great. The animation is amazing. I think they did a really good job with the animation. It's everything you would expect from, like, if you're watching, and so I've got, a 6-year-old in Luke, right? So he watches all this stuff right now, but whether it's, Paw Patrol or with the most recent one is Spidey and His Amazing Friends. They've redone that one. It's in that, it feels like it's the same studio that's doing that one. And they do that one so well. Like, it's so good. But I can't stop talking about this one. It's a really great episode, or great series. The episodes are very short. You can they're just enough to catch the attention span of, the Disney Junior audience. So you don't ever feel like you're getting weighted down. In fact, it almost feels like, wow, there's another one. Holy crap, there's another one. Wow, we're on episode 10 now. It just keeps going and going and going. But they're really good stuff. I think they're a really good job. But so I saw these figures here. So I got the Kai Brightstar. I didn't want to go too crazy because he's looking at me going like, is that for me? And I'm like, nope, it's going on Dad's shelf. Sorry. But I think the models, they look really good. I mean, of course, it's, probably a lift directly from the 3D model. So, I mean, there probably was no way to screw this up. They did a good job with him.
They translate really well to those action figure sizes. And they're slightly bigger so they can really make them super colorful and still get away with it.
Yeah. He's got his lightsaber. I haven't opened it up, but I will. But his lightsaber is, maybe I'll do it now. His lightsaber is down here in the box as well. But I picked him up, and then, of course, I had to get Nubs. Nubs was the only one this was the only Nubs that was left. Like, everybody else was there. Kai was kind of gone, too. But Nubs I picked him up. And they had, I don't remember all the other characters. I think there's 4 main characters. One's a smuggler who has her own ship. She's really good, too, in the show.
Yeah, I forgot her name. She's the one I like the best. Yeah.
They had the ships too, though. Like I didn't realize they made like the full size. Like her ship was available. I saw that it was a larger ship. And then they also had his what are they called? The fighters that they fly around in.
I think they've also got Lego. I think they've got a Lego set for Young Jedi Adventures as well.
Do they really?
Yeah. I think I saw one over at Target the other day. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not an Ewok with the lightsaber. This is Nubs. He's I think they've said his race at some point, species, I guess, at some point, but I don't remember what it is at this right now. But just as a quick aside, I think it was, is it Uzari Art? Who's the guy there's a guy that does a lot of Star Wars art, pretty famous, pretty popular. I think he's been reposted by Star Wars. He did I don't know if you caught it, but he did a version of these characters, Kai and Nubs, together, but they were older.
Oh, really?
It looks so freaking wicked. Like Kai looks like he's like an older person, and Nubs is like fully grown. He looks like a blue Wookiee, and you can tell that he's aged them so they look more mature, adult size. But it looks menacing. I would love to get I wish they would do that, and maybe we'll see them grow up at some point. But that's where I was like, wow, that's really cool, because these are kind of the standout characters in my opinion when you watch the show. So I had to get both of these, but I may go back and get the rest of them because, again, they just did a really good job. And I can't tell you how much I paid. I just grabbed them and threw them in a box. But you can see here they've got Yoda. What was her name? Liz Soleil? Liz Soleil? I forget now what her name is, but you can see
that's the other Jedi, yeah.
Yeah. And then they have the girl too, the smuggler. She's not on the back of the box. But yeah, good stuff. I'm pretty happy with these. I think they were like $12.99. They weren't terribly expensive and not terribly cheap.
Yeah, toys are super expensive these days, it seems. Yeah. Very cool.
All right. I got a couple more things. Do you have anything?
I have one last one. I'll just do mine real fast. So this is a blast from the past. This is a Kotobukiya Artifacts vinyl statue, so it's kind of big.
Holy bananas!
It's
Oh,
of
I've
a
seen this one.
501st Trooper. Yeah, I mean, it was really popular back at the time, but I love it. It guards my kitchen. It guards my front door. So
I love that you have all these toys in like pivotal security positions around your apartment. There.
Oh, it's strategic. He has the high ground too, right next to the Imperial. Yeah, he says right. I have an Imperial Guard General Giant statue, but it's just really cool. This is a snap fit, so it just snaps fit together, and it didn't have to paint it. Didn't have to do like it all came pre-done with the accessories, and it's just a fantastic piece. It just looks great. It's really battle worn. Again, you probably won't be able to see.
You can see the detail there.
Yeah, but it's just
the paint's been marked off, or like
I mean, he's definitely been battle worn, even on the van braces and stuff like that. It's really great. I mean, they did a great job on this, and just one of my favorite pieces because again, it was just so simple. It was a little pricey at the time. I want to say this was probably like $60 or $80 at the time, but
it's not bad. I mean, that's kind of maybe now it's kind of going right now, but
it's about 10 or 11 inches tall. I mean, it's getting close to a foot tall, so it's really. It's really perfect, and you get both weapons with it. I think you can exchange the hands and the weapons. I think there's some variability to some of it, but this is just kind of the configuration I leave them in. I just absolutely love it. I love that they did the color and everything else. And they had a few of these at the time, but this is the one that I have an R2 and C-3PO one too, and it's actually where it's vinyl, but C-3PO is actually golden, like it's shiny and golden, and R2 is great, but I broke part of C-3PO, so.
Oh.
Oops. Yeah, that one's a little disappointing, but they did a really great job on these. So always a huge fan of these. If I see these, I try to, if they're reasonable, I consider picking them up, but I don't come across them very often. But I think they made some Vader ones and maybe some others as well. But I wonder
what they sell for these days, though.
That's a good question. I don't know. Because I was looking through, I have a bunch of Lego sets I've never opened as well. And I know those, as soon as they stop making them, they tend to increase in value quite a bit. So I'd be pretty curious. I mean, this one's in perfect shape. There's nothing wrong with it. It fits together, and there's no broken pieces or anything. So, and I've still got the box as well, because why would I throw the box away?
Yeah, you've got Lego sets that I want, and I think I've got comics you want. So maybe after the show, let's make a deal here.
Yeah, let's make a deal.
Okay, a couple things. I'll do these in rapid fire. Well, at least this one will be. You ever pick these up?
Oh man, I used to back when I was younger. Yeah, I used to have all the Time magazine, like special editions for Star Wars and all that stuff. And,
print is dead, granted, but there is just something.
But they keep printing. So,
but they keep printing. Well,
tell people what you're holding up.
So.
Yeah, tell people. Sorry, that's the thing. These things are like $8 and $9 now.
No. This was $14.99.
Holy crap!
And look at the thickness on this. It's not very thick. So this is a Life magazine, a Life special edition kind of thing that says George Lucas in the making of Star Wars, creating the Skywalker saga. Now, if you watched the series on Disney Plus, there's not a lot in here that you haven't already read or seen.
I love that back cover, that back page they get on the outside. That's a great back cover.
This picture haunts me to this day. This is one of those publicity photos that was out when we were kids, and they used it here and there. I remember the Topps trading card that this came on, the blue card, and I mean, it just kind of your imagination runs wild as a 7 or 8
for those listening, this is Luke in the Falcon behind the controls of the gun.
Yeah, it's kind of looking off. It's staged. It's a publicity photo, but but yeah, I mean, Life has always been known for its big pictures, and this book is certainly, there's no shortage of it. Now, I will say this, although the content of this particular commemorative edition, whatever, is nothing new, probably stuff that you haven't already read, seen. The photos, some of these are kind of from the archives. If you have which I do, back there, the Star Wars, I'm not picking that thing up. That's that huge book that I bought.
Right.
If you have that, there's nothing in here that you haven't seen already. So, but for a lot of people, this is the first time seeing some of this stuff. They really dug out some really cool archival footage.
More accessible to buy a $15 magazine than it is to go buy a $150 book.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever.
I think it was more than that.
Yeah, some of these books get really crazy expensive.
Yeah. So, anyways, I picked that up. Honestly, I picked that up at the airport because I needed something to do on the flight, because I got word that the Wi-Fi was down for Southwest Airlines, and I'm really? That's just not acceptable in this day and age. But okay, last two things, and I'll call it a night. Again, fine items found at Five Below. This is the ceramic salt and pepper shakers. So I've got Grogu and.
All right, now I've just got to ask why. I usually don't ask why, but now I got to ask why.
It's $5. It's $5. But it does break my cardinal rule, because right here it says hand wash only, and I refuse to buy.
But it's a salt and pepper shaker. Does anybody actually wash salt and pepper shakers?
No, that's a very good point. Very good point. And my theory, or I guess my motto is, if it dies, it dies. Like, I don't care if it says hand wash; it's going in the dishwasher. If it lives, great. If not, sorry, there's nothing I can do about it.
Wasn't meant to be. Right.
Wasn't meant to be. That's exactly
one with
right.
the Force.
Okay, and then the very last thing
I
I picked up.
We might need to stage an intervention after that, though.
Why have I gone too far? I don't know that I'll ever use these.
That's probably where I'm going. Yeah,
but it was $4. Come on,
it doesn't matter. You didn't need it.
I don't need it. It'll be worth. It's like the quote from Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? In 100 years, it'll be worth millions. Probably not. It'll probably worth $6.99.
Oh, I was wondering if you're going to pick these up.
Yeah, I picked it up. So this is, I think it's a re-release, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. I don't remember if they did this the first time around, but this is part of the, was it Gaming Greats now? Is what they was called. It's called a lot of different things, but I'm holding up
the new Black Series.
For Bastilla Sean. So my love for Bastilla Sean continues, so you can see the figure there.
I think they have released these before. I think back when they had a window. These are the all cardboard. There's no window into the figure anymore, of course, for these. Although I heard they're bringing it back, but I think I saw someone comparing this with another model, though. Yeah, these Gaming Greats are really cool, though. I mean, they've done it for Spider-Man as well as Star Wars, and this is a great way, especially for these old Republic figures. Like, you don't get these very often, and these other characters that just don't, like Force Unleashed, rather, Fallen Order. A lot of those characters come through these, and I'm really happy that they continue to bring these forward. These are really great figures.
I think I picked up the Revan one from the same series. I may have shown that on the show or on.
I think you did
on some point, but yeah, they're continuing to release them, so I had to get it. I mean, it was one of these pre-order things. I didn't even. It's one of those things where you pre-order it and it ships 6 months later and it just shows up and you're like, holy crap, forgot that I even ordered this thing. So it was a surprise. It was on my doorstep when I got back from vacation. So
kind of like the surprise that you had a salt and pepper shaker in your hand cart at Five Below.
No, that was intentional. Like this is a very conscionable.
I was trying to give you an out, man.
Nope. I saw it and said, yep, got to have that. Never use it, but I definitely have to have it. So
I'm actually disappointed you're not going to use them. I just don't understand why not. Just go put them on the table.
Well, it all depends. Like salt and pepper shakers, like sometimes the holes are too big. Sometimes they're too small, right? And then you got to add rice to it because, you don't want it to pour out.
Then why'd you buy it? I don't understand.
It was $5, less than $5, man.
I'm so confused.
I'll never use it. Maybe we'll give it away.
I just don't know if you're trying to be like Steve Sansweet, like you're just channeling your inner Steve Sansweet, where you will own everything. You'll own every box of cereal, even if it just sits in the box.
Oh, I haven't done that.
Box of cereal.
I did have.
Go get you a box of Cheez-Its now or whatever else.
I've got the Kylo Ren ones.
I know you
Did
have
I ever
some.
show you those?
I think when I was out there, I think you've shown me a couple of things from time to time.
I have the Kylo Ren box, and there was another one that came out during Rise of Skywalker. I don't know where those went to, honestly.
You showed me the goldfish.
Mold somewhere.
I think you showed me the goldfish last time.
Yeah, those are gone. I ate those already. They were disgusting, but they were Mandalorian. It was cool to eat Grogu's head, so whatever. All right. Well, that's all I had.
All right.
See you later.
Now I want to go to Five Below. So
I know. I keep looking. I keep thinking about you every time I go.
I was so disappointed. Yeah, because you were telling me you got the last Tatooine trade post we did. You showed me the Spider-Man figures that they had, and I went to 2 different ones, and I still couldn't find them. I was really disappointed. And although I did see they actually had another game. I did not pick it up though, because I saw the game that you had bought.
Oh yeah.
And then they had another game as well. That was a card game.
Star Wars?
Along the same lines. Yeah, Star Wars. But I only saw it at one of them. At the second one, I was going to get it if it was there, but they didn't have it there. So if I go back and see it again, maybe I'll grab it. But yeah, it was another just $5 card game. So
cool. Yeah, it's weird how they do that. Like it's like some stores have certain things, some don't. I don't understand the logic behind it or how it works out. I mean, I figure a lot of this stuff is on closeout, so they buy it in bulk and they kind of distribute it among the stores. But I will say that we were in California, and in California the entire time, there were a couple of Five Belows that we went to, but they were nothing like the ones here in Austin. They were very sparse, didn't have a lot of stuff in them. The toy sections were pretty miserable, quite honestly. Yeah. But man, the one that we go to here, that's local,
they were stocked full of salt and pepper shakers, though. Let me tell you.
Well, no, I didn't buy this in California. I got this one. This has been sitting here.
I was about to say, if that took up suitcase space on the plane,
No.
I was going to be laughing at you so hard.
I was using my 50 pounds very, very exclusively. So you got to be careful with that stuff. Well, that's
survived.
it.
You survived my shaming, so.
Yeah. I've got 2 more items, but I'm going to table them for next week because we're already coming up on 30 minutes. So, hey, look, Music Train just joined us and we're about to end.
Yeah, thanks to Sky, Alex, and Music Train for coming out. And Music Train, you can rewatch the video, but we appreciate you coming out to check it out. And thanks to all of our Patreon members, of course. Everything y'all put into the show goes right back into the show. So it's kind of convenient that way. So thank y'all for doing that. We're actually, it's really exciting. We are at the highest number of Patreon members we've ever had before. So thank y'all for really helping us cultivate a really cool community and for really turning around the Patreon. And it really does help out a lot. And it opens a lot of doors for us in the future as well. So to be able to do more. So thank y'all so much for that. Thank you for making Patreon so successful. And we hope you're enjoying all of the content you're getting. And we hope to continue bringing you more.
And speaking of which, this Sunday will be the next Patreon show. And we're going to break open the seal, I guess, on Ezra Bridger. So,
yeah,
very little known character in Star Wars universe. I'm kidding. There's a lot to be said with him. But we'll be talking about kind of his journey and then, of course, speculating. This is all in preparation of the Ahsoka series, so we'll kind of speculate on possibilities of where he could be, what he's been doing this entire time. There are some leaks out there, and I'm going to try to stay away from the leaks because again, they're leaks and not rumors.
Right.
So probably confirmed in some way, to some extent. And I don't want to get into any of that stuff, but we definitely can certainly tippy-toe around that and still kind of talk about what we can expect from Ezra, because I do feel like he's going to be in a very different place, maybe even a dark place at this point, given how far and how long away he's been. But it should be a fun show.
Yeah, it'd be a very different character. Yeah, so, and again, just to give a preview of what we have coming up here just next week or two, of course, Waystation will come before Ezra. Ezra will be Patreon only. Next Thursday, we'll have Ahsoka, The Final Hype. We're going to bring Lauren in for that one. That's the plan. Don't expect to have a Patreon because usually that show runs a bit long with The Final Hype.
Yep.
That Sunday, though, we'll come back. We'll do Thrawn as our Ready for Ahsoka. That'll be our main show. And then for our Patreon, we're going to have a little fun with Zeb and Chopper, also known the Sociopath and the Captain. Actually, that's not a bad title. Maybe I'll go with that. And then, of course, then we'll flash forward to the week after where we have the premiere for Ahsoka. We're trying to get Lauren to come in and do that show with us as well. When we do that show that night, if we do it on Wednesday, maybe we'll see if we have time for a Patreon on Thursday. But if we do it on Thursday, we definitely won't have time because this show is going to probably be about a 2-hour show as we break down the premiere of both episodes, of course, like in the typical Cantina fan cast. What show are we on? Typical Cantina cast fashion that we do. So
yeah, you got it.
It's been a long couple of weeks, man. So I'm ready. I'm ready for the weekend. But yeah, so that's kind of the slate, and then we'll get into the normal routine and see what we're getting with the Ahsoka series to see if we come back on Sundays and kind of go back to our Patreon spotlight and see what that starts to look like. So more to come in that space. We'll let you guys know as soon as we get there.
Cool. All right. Well, lots more to come and excited to talk about it all. So again, like Jonesy said, thank you guys so much for your patronage, for supporting the show, and please join us on Sunday night. So because it should be a fun discussion talking about our little boy, now a man, named Ezra Bridger. So, all right. We'll see you guys here.
It wasn't creepy at all. All right.
I know. Well, I didn't mean it that way. Gosh. Okay. We'll see you guys here in just a few more days.
You're still listening? Wow, that's amazing. Well, I'm here to give you the disclaimer. Normally we do a big, long, drawn-out disclaimer thing saying what's what and who's what and all that other stuff, but I think you guys kind of know that Lucasfilm and Disney have no affiliation with us at all, and we have none with them. We talk about Star Wars, which is their property, and all that other good, fun stuff, but I think you can tell which is our stuff and which is their stuff. If you can't, well, then send a lawyer to send an email to me, and I'll be glad to chat with them. Other than that, you know what's what, so that's your disclaimer.